and welcome to Barston on a really blustery autumnal day. Now today I'm going to look at some really interesting ready Zig rigs. They've got something a little bit different going on, and I'm also going to look at Kodex's latest retractable rod, the Kompressive. I've got one in the net, a typical Barston fish. Really nice. We'll get him back and see if we can catch a few more. So these beauties are Kodex's new Zig Beasts. Now, zig fishing, people find a little bit complicated, maybe a little bit fiddly to tie up, but the Zig Beasts, you know, really simplify that. They come on a spool, you get 3 on a spool. They're marked at 3 different depths, so there's actually 10 foot of line on here, but they're marked, you know, at depths that you might want. And how they actually work is that there is a bayonet system that comes off the hook. The hook actually sits at the perfect angle, and on top of the bayonet, you can push coloured bits of foam, and there's some little toppers that go onto the top of the foam that give you, a beast-like silhouette. For me, zigs are always best to use black, maybe use a white or a yellow piece on the top, but they really are quite simple to use, and I'll show you how you use them. You get 3 ready-tied rigs on the spool. They're made with 10-pound line and come with a size 10 hook, and you can get them in barbed or barbless versions. Like I say, they're marked off, they're 10 foot long, there's a loop on that, and they're marked off increments of 6 foot and 8 foot. I've moved these ones because I've unravelled it once, just to get to the end, and the end bit is the clever bit. So at the end of the rig, we have the beast attachment, and as you can see, it's quite a stiff plastic attachment. The hook kicks off nicely from the attachment, and to use it, I can't believe that. So we were just in the middle of discussing Zig Beasts, and the rod's gone off. Now, it all got a bit wet here at Barston, so we changed the Zig Beast over for basically a standard rig, and I put a stringer on there, wrapped it at 20 wraps, and for a 10-foot rod, which this is, it can easily hit it. This is certainly not a casting rod, let me tell you, but as you can see, for a short rod, they normally tend to be through, but this one's quite a progressive sort of action and quite a thick, the butt section is quite thick, but that does give you a bit of casting prowess. I'm pretty sure that this 10-foot rod is 3-pound test curve, and yeah, it's quite nice actually. It's not too powerful, but it's certainly not a through action rod, so there is a bit of casting power available to it. Anti-frap guides, which is handy because I've got a short fluorocarbon leader on here, just to take the line down because it's shallow water, and yeah, so we've not had any, we've not had any tangles or anything. This is the second fish I've caught this morning with the rod, and yeah, it is quite powerful, but it's not too powerful. I think it'd handle leads. Yeah, I think that'd probably quite easily handle a 4-ounce lead should you need it. But of course, the beauty of the short rods is that close range work, yeah, they're perfect. They're not designed for long range work, but like here, this is a really sort of it's a bit of a parrot cage. Over your head, there's lots of branches. If I had a 12-foot rod, I think I'd struggle to cast properly. The lead would be zipping through the blessed leaves and all that. But of course, a short rod does give you that, does make life a little bit easier. Obviously, when you retract the butt back up the butt section, storage-wise, this is so easy. You can slip them into the boot of your car really simply. So there we are, another typical sort of Barston fish, probably a low double. And there's barbless hooks here, so it's always fun at Barston when you're close. I prefer it if the lead pops off, but this one doesn't look like it has popped off. Not a bad fish. they always give a good account of themselves, you know. Some places that have fished a lot, the fish are a little bit tired and it's all like, oh, here we go again. But in Barston, they always go a little bit. So before we were so rudely interrupted by that fish, I'm going to show you the really clever end piece of the Zig piece, and this is it. Like I said earlier, the hook sits perfectly, and to use it, you choose your colour, so you've got 3 colours to go at. You push this end, which has got a flattened end, through the foam. There's already a channel for it cut through, and at the end of the plastic, there's something to stop it going on too far. You take the end piece and then you push one of the Zig Beasts through it. You get a few choices of shape or colour. This one's got little legs sticking out, so we'll put that on there. And then once it's on there, you simply turn it so as it sits in a cross against it so it can't pull off, and there it is. It's as simple as that. Choice of colours, choice of tops, really, really easy. Anyway, I was going to show you the rods next, but obviously having caught a fish on it, you've seen that. But I will show you some of the key features. So I've caught a few fish with the rod. I've got no complaints about its playing action whatsoever. Some of the things, you know, the big pluses about retractable rods are clearly this. You push the button, the second section comes out, and the whole thing just concertinas down. I mean, it's nothing, you know, straight into the boot of even the smallest car. So you can leave the rig on really quick to use. So you're straight on the bank and pretty much you're fishing straight away. Now, some of the key features that I particularly like about the Kompressive is this cutaway handle area here. It does give you a little bit more feel. So when you're playing the fish, it's actually, you know, it's got quite a lot of transmission. You can feel where the fish is. The real seat itself is of the hooded variety and then the screw down. I can't fault it. It's been rock solid. There's a nice little EVA piece on the handle, so although these aren't casting tools, you know, it does give you a decent grip. Anti-frap guides, especially on the end, it's lived up to its billing. It hasn't tangled for me. And what I would say about this rod is I've seen quite a few short rods and fished with quite a few, and where the Kompressive differs from other ones is that this one, the action isn't through at all. So if you've got into a small water and you want to cast solid bags, you know, that are probably going to weigh around about 3.5 ounces, and you need to sort of hit 50 to sort of 80 yards, and you need a short rod to do it because, say, there's a lot of vegetation around your, you know, space is limited, then the Kompressive is one of the only short rods I've picked up that has that extra power and the progressive action, as you can see when I'm playing the fish. Anyway, there isn't really much more I can say about it. I'm really pleased with it, but for $49.99, if you need to cast bags or bigger legs on a small water, then it's got to be worth a look.